If you've got money in a 401k, cash savings, broad market ETFs, bonds, gold, tech-heavy funds, or even some international or emerging market exposure, listen up. Right now, there's a quiet shift happening in global finance that could affect the purchasing power of what you've saved. Not a sudden loss, but a slow change in how your money holds value over time. Recent reports show India's central bank proposing to link BRICS digital currencies for easier trade and tourism payments. It's another step in building alternatives to dollar dominance. What most people miss is how these practical moves are already changing trade flows and what that could mean for your portfolio. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll understand the real story behind these BRICS new money signals, the mechanics driving the change, and a clear way to think about your own holdings without chasing headlines. Here's the roadmap. First, the problem. Why dollar reliance is being questioned. Second, the mechanism. How alternative systems and local currencies are actually working today. Third, your action plan, balanced ways to position yourself. Let's get into it. The US dollar is still the main currency for global trade. Oil, commodities, most big deals. It's been that way for decades, but major economies like Russia, China, India, and Brazil want more options, especially when politics or sanctions make the dollar harder to use. So they're increasing trade in their own currencies and testing digital connections between their central bank digital currencies. Picture the dollar as the main airport everyone flies through. These countries are building regional hubs so they can fly direct more often, lower costs, less dependence. In a minute, I'll share the numbers professionals watch. But first, quick thought. If the dollar is the universal remote, BRICS is basically getting their own charger, practical, not dramatic. Quick question. Do you have any emerging markets or commodity exposure in your portfolio? If yes, this trend touches it directly. Now the deeper level, what serious investors track. First, the share of trade settled without dollars. It's growing fast. Russia and other BRICS countries now settle around 90% of their trade in national currencies. Second, digital currency projects. India recently proposed linking digital versions of the rupee, yuan, ruble, and others for trade and tourism. It builds on existing pilots like the multi-CBDC platform already tested. Third, the dollar index. When de-dollarization talk grows, it can soften over time. Think of the dollar as the main highway. These alternatives are adding toll-free side roads. The highway still gets most traffic, but more people take the side roads when it makes sense. Quick recap. Layer 1 was the why. Layer 2 is the how. Real numbers and systems already moving. Myth: BRICS just launched a single new currency to replace the dollar. Reality: no. The old symbolic banknote was just a prop. Today's focus is linking existing digital currencies and national ones for trade, not creating one BRICS money. Think back to how the euro began. Countries gradually aligned systems while still using their own currencies. BRICS is even looser, focused on connection, not merger. It's just a historical parallel, not a promise. So what does this mean for you? If dollar demand eases over time, imported goods and travel could slowly cost more mild inflation pressure. Cash and long-term dollar bonds might lose relative value abroad. Broad market ETFs and tech funds benefit from a strong dollar today, but adding some emerging markets or commodities could help balance longer-term shifts. Gold often performs well when countries diversify reserves. It's a neutral asset, no single country's promise behind it. Ever notice how your dollar sometimes buys less overseas? This trend is that feeling, but built into the system and moving slowly. Myth: the dollar's dominance ends soon and crashes. Reality: it still makes up about 60% of global reserves, and most trade changes like this take years, even decades, with plenty of adaptation along the way. In the 1970s, after the gold standard ended, the dollar adjusted as countries spread out their reserves. It didn't disappear, it recalibrated. We could see something similar here: evolution, not collapse. If every symbolic banknote photo meant new money was here, my wallet would be full of artwork by now. Professionals also watch central bank gold buying. BRICS countries have been adding steadily, and inflation differences, if US policies pull one way while others go another, dollar pressure can build. For bonds, duration matters. Longer duration is like a longer lever. Small yield changes move prices more. Myth: time to dump everything and go all in on alternatives. Reality: calm diversification beats panic. Keep your course stable. Here's a practical framework to think through, not advice, just a way to reason about your situation. Portfolio decisions. If your goal is long-term growth and you're comfortable with some volatility, consider a modest allocation to emerging markets ETFs, gold, or commodity funds for diversification. If your goal is preserving capital over a shorter horizon, lean towards shorter duration bonds, inflation-protected options, and keep a strong broad US core. Avoid overconcentration. Time horizon matters. More years ahead, you can handle gradual changes. Closer to needing the money, focus on defense, watch lists to track. The dollar index sustained moves below 100 signal weakness. BRICS summit outcomes, especially India's 2026 hosting and CBDC progress, percentage of BRICS trade in national currencies, gold prices and central bank buying reports, US versus global inflation trends, risk management checklist, keep any alternative bets small, 5 to 10% at most, diversify across assets and geographies, avoid leverage, no margin or borrowed money on macro trends, rebalance once a year, not on emotion, and keep a cash buffer for flexibility. Quick recap. BRICS signals like proposals to link digital currencies are about practical alternatives to full dollar reliance through better payment systems and national currencies. It's gradual, not sudden. The dollar is still dominant, but diversification makes sense. Your portfolio can handle this if you stay calm and thoughtful. What if this isn't the end of the dollar era, but the start of a more balanced global money system where well-diversified portfolios come out ahead? If this helped you see things more clearly, please subscribe for more macro breakdowns, give the video a like and drop a comment. Tell me which metric you're watching closest right now. Thanks for watching, stay sharp out there,